I grew up in Topeka, Kansas. I went to school with Linda Brown versus the Board of Education. It was really the first civil rights legislation. In 1964, I went to the March on Washington. I was a part of a sit-in at our campus protesting unfair housing. I felt that you can personally make a difference if you feel you're right, if you're right. I graduated from the University of Kansas. At that time, I had about 10,000 students. There were probably 200 black students on campus. In my graduating class in engineering, there was one, me. I came to work directly for GE in 1966 at a plant called Euclid Lamp, which is downtown Cleveland, as a quality engineer. And I was the first black exempt in the plant. The opportunity that GE presented was an opportunity to get into management quicker than I could as an engineer working at some of the aerospace companies, and that's what attracted me to GE. As far as minorities in executive positions in GE, the numbers were very limited. I wrote a letter to Jack Welch, and the reason was sort of frustration. We had great programs working, but the reality of people moving up in the workforce was not true. This letter said that the status of African-American professionals and managers in GE is at an all-time low. And it's a situation that demands your personal attention. So if he doesn't like it and fires me, well, that's so be it. That's it. I felt compelled, if I'm going to have integrity in what I'm selling, that I've got to say something about it. Either that or I can't do this job. Okay, so I felt I had to bring this to his attention with the thought that he was going to make a difference. Welch threw out the challenge. What are you going to do? Don't tell me what I need to do. Tell me what you're going to do. And so the black people there took that as a challenge and said, we'll do something about this. Went out and met with different groups of people at the various locations and then started the AAF.
Before the AAF, you had several challenges if you were trying to meet other African Americans. So you were always looking, if you took a business trip, if you went somewhere else where there were other G people, you were always looking for, gee, is there another African American? I think I saw one.
While there were ad hoc meetings with African Americans, they were generally done on Saturdays in somebody's basement where you couldn't be seen. In the late 80s, there was a clear focus that we needed to change. So Jack sponsored a workout in Fairfield, Connecticut to discuss what's working and what's not. We went to that meeting and had a lively debate, back and forth about diversity.
Jack really was very supportive, but also very challenging in saying, hey, you guys are the senior African Americans representing your groups. What have you individually done?
So when we left that meeting, we talked about it, and a decision was made that if he ever asked us that again, we'd have an answer for him. And the answer was going to be a self-help group called the African American Forum.
I think the early beginnings of AAF were very exciting. We felt like we were being a part of something that was bigger than all of us individually, in that if we got it right, would help both the other African Americans in the company, but also the company itself.
We went about recruiting the best diverse talent that was out there. In about 2 or 3 years, we wound up with the most diverse leadership team in the corporation. So it was a lot of fun.
Affinity groups have changed the face and the diversity of the company. I think it's made it a broader, more rich talent pipeline. And quite frankly, it adds to the experience of leading a business, leading people, and being successful in doing that.
We had the opportunity to help people coming along to understand what it meant to be successful in this environment.
There is nothing in corporate America like the AAF. It creates a sense of connectedness like nothing I've ever seen. If I can look up and see people who look like me, who have been successful in this company, then I know that I can be successful. I'm not the only one anymore, and that feels terrific.
The AAF was not just about making it better for us and for those around us at the moment. It was about how do we create a better environment for those who are going to come after us.
We've evolved as time goes on, and the human resources, I think, of the company match the strategy of the company, which is to grow and to get diverse thoughts and diverse ideas, no matter where they come from. In the end, it's about people. It's about having good talent.
Martin Luther King Jr. said the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. The men and women who stood firm at General Electric throughout the years have proven their measure. People like Robert Warr, an electronics engineer who worked on development systems in GE's Syracuse lab. Joe Cleveland, who began his GE career in medical systems, but later rose through the ranks at GE Aerospace. Sharon McAfee worked with GE in the 1970s as a biomedical engineer in analytical techniques. And Manny Neal, one of the key lawyers for General Electric, who helped in the formation of the AAF. We are where we are today because of all those who have gone before us and on whose shoulders we stand. And those who come after us will continue to build upon our rich legacy at General Electric.
The legacy of General Electric is one where African Americans have never been layered on top of. African Americans have been an integral part of GE from the outset.
I've grown a lot, I've gained a lot of skills, a lot of opportunities, met a lot of great people, and it has been a great experience for me.
My experience, on a scale of 1 to 100, it was 110.
You know, I never in my wildest dreams thought I would be a vice chairman of the company when I left.
If something is worthwhile, you go after it. The problems that were evident 30, 40, 50 years ago have not gone away. They've gone around the corner. And you may be facing them in your later life, but be prepared when you get there to face them intelligently.
It's about educating them, helping them, so that there can be an effectuated change.
I would love to see that one day this world will just be different. We'll look at each other as human beings.
Both the company and the nation is going to have to focus more on talent from different diverse groups. And I think GE is definitely a best practice company in that regard.
There are people working here at GE for the last 10, 15 years. They don't know what GE's like without the AAF. And it means that it now is a part of the fabric and the culture of GE, which means it's a different GE.
I have no doubt that the legacy for AAF will get better, broader, and spread into areas that I never even could imagine.
History is always a wonderful teacher, and history can be inspirational. And as much as we can teach our children and the people who come behind us what African Americans have achieved, then you don't feel so alone. You don't feel like you're the first, you're the only. You know that people have gone before you and that you can make it.